5 harsh truths that hurt but will set you free, you need to hear to heal Stoicism. Some people will never love you the way you loved them. And the faster you accept that, the faster your life begins to change. There are truths nobody wants to hear because they cut deep. They expose illusions. They destroy excuses. They force you to confront yourself. But these truths are also liberating. Because pain that reveals reality is better than comfort built on lies. Stoicism teaches that suffering often comes not from life itself, but from resisting reality. The moment you stop fighting truth, you become free. Today, you're going to hear 5 harsh truths that may hurt at first, but if you truly understand them, they can heal your mind, strengthen your spirit, and completely transform your life. Watch this till the end because the final truth is the one most people realize too late. And if you want more videos that strengthen your mind, sharpen your discipline, and help you master yourself through Stoicism, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss another lesson. Truth number 1, nobody is coming to save you. This truth hurts because almost everyone spends part of their life waiting. Waiting for motivation. Waiting for opportunities. Waiting for somebody to believe in them. Waiting for a relationship to fix them. Waiting for family to understand them. Waiting for life to become easier. But life keeps moving while they wait. Stoicism teaches radical responsibility. The Stoics understood that the moment you place your life in someone else's hands, you surrender your power. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Think about that carefully. You cannot control whether people support you. You cannot control whether they appreciate you. You cannot control whether life is fair. But you can control your response. Many people remain trapped because they secretly believe someone is coming to rescue them from their problems. Nobody is coming. And strangely, that realization is one of the most empowering moments of your life. Because once you stop expecting rescue, you start building yourself. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You stop depending on validation. You stop blaming others endlessly. You begin to act. You wake up earlier. You work harder. You heal yourself. You become disciplined. You learn skills. You build confidence through action. The harsh reality is that your future depends largely on the decisions you make daily. Not your excuses. Not your complaints. Not your circumstances. Your actions. Most people know what they should do, but they avoid doing it because discipline is uncomfortable. Stoicism never promised comfort. It promised strength. And strength is built through discomfort. The gym hurts before the body grows stronger. Healing hurts before peace arrives. Growth hurts before transformation appears. The person you want to become exists on the other side of responsibility. No one can walk that path for you. Not your friends. Not your parents. Not your partner. You. There comes a moment when every mature person realizes that blaming others changes nothing. Maybe people hurt you. Maybe life was unfair. Maybe opportunities were taken from you. But eventually, continuing to live as a victim becomes a choice. And Stoicism teaches that your power begins where your excuses end. The strongest people are not people who had easy lives. They are people who accepted responsibility for their own healing. Nobody rescued them. They rescued themselves. And you can too. Truth number 2, most people only care about themselves. This truth shocks many people because deep down, we want to believe loyalty is automatic. We want to believe people think about us as much as we think about them. But reality doesn't work that way. Most people are focused on their own survival, their own emotions, their own fears, and their own desires. That's not necessarily evil. It's human nature. Once you understand this, you stop taking everything personally. Someone ignores your message. Someone forgets your birthday. Someone disappoints you. And instead of collapsing emotionally, you realize something important. People act according to their own priorities, not yours. This truth becomes freeing because it destroys unrealistic expectations. A major source of suffering comes from expecting others to think like you, love like you, sacrifice like you, or care like you. But they won't. Not everyone has your heart. Not everyone has your loyalty. Not everyone values relationships the same way you do. Stoicism teaches emotional independence. That means your peace should not depend on how others behave. If your happiness depends entirely on people being consistent, kind, loyal, and understanding all the time, your happiness will constantly collapse. People change. People leave. People disappoint. And the sooner you emotionally prepare for that reality, the stronger you become. This doesn't mean you become cold. It means you become wise. You learn to appreciate people without depending on them for your identity. You stop begging for attention. You stop chasing approval. You stop trying to force connections that clearly aren't mutual. One of the most painful experiences in life is realizing you matter less to someone than they matter to you. But Stoicism teaches acceptance over attachment. Not every relationship is meant to last forever. Some people enter your life to teach lessons, not stay permanently. The problem is that many people cling to relationships long after the relationship has already emotionally ended. They keep chasing. Keep explaining. Keep begging. Keep hoping. Meanwhile, the other person emotionally moved on long ago. Stoicism reminds us that attachment to what we cannot control creates suffering. You cannot control another person's feelings. You cannot force loyalty. You cannot force effort. You cannot force respect. But you can choose dignity. You can choose self-respect. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is quietly walk away. Not because you hate them, but because you finally value yourself enough to stop chasing what doesn't choose you. Once you stop expecting people to complete you, you begin to discover inner peace. And that peace is priceless. Truth number 3, life is unfair. This truth is difficult because fairness feels comforting. We want to believe good people always win. We want to believe hard work always gets rewarded immediately. We want to believe life follows logic. But reality is often unpredictable. Bad things happen to good people. Dishonest people sometimes succeed. Kind people sometimes suffer. Talented people sometimes go unnoticed. Stoicism teaches that suffering increases when we demand reality to match our expectations. The universe owes nobody fairness. And once you accept that, you stop wasting energy complaining about reality. Complaining changes nothing. Complaining does not erase pain. Complaining does not reverse betrayal. Complaining does not restore lost time. Acceptance is not weakness. Acceptance is clarity. When Stoics speak about acceptance, they do not mean giving up. They mean seeing reality clearly instead of emotionally resisting it. Imagine standing in a storm screaming that it shouldn't be raining. The storm continues regardless. That is how many people live emotionally. They resist reality instead of adapting to it. Life becomes lighter when you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "How do I grow through this?" That question changes everything. Pain becomes training. Failure becomes wisdom. Loss becomes perspective. Many of the strongest people you admire were shaped by difficulties they never wanted. The hardship refined them. Stoicism teaches that obstacles are not interruptions to life. Obstacles are part of life. Marcus Aurelius said the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Think deeply about that. The obstacle itself becomes the path. Your heartbreak may develop emotional strength. Your failures may build resilience. Your loneliness may force self-discovery. What you currently hate may eventually become the reason you evolve. But only if you stop resisting reality. Some people stay bitter for decades because life didn't go according to plan. Others adapt and become stronger. The difference is mindset. The Stoic understands that while external events are unpredictable, inner character remains within your control. You cannot always control what happens. But you can control whether suffering destroys you or develops you. That choice matters. Every painful experience carries two possibilities: bitterness or wisdom, weakness or growth, excuses or transformation. Choose carefully. Truth number 4, you are running out of time. This truth terrifies people because most live as though tomorrow is guaranteed. They delay their dreams. Delay healing. Delay discipline. Delay meaningful conversations. Delay becoming who they know they should be. But time keeps moving. Every sunrise removes another day from your life. Stoicism constantly reflects on mortality, not to create fear, but to create urgency. When you remember life is temporary, meaningless distractions lose power. Suddenly, approval matters less. Petty arguments matter less. Social media comparisons matter less. You begin focusing on what truly matters. Character, purpose, peace, growth, love, contribution. Most people live unconsciously. They repeat the same habits for years while believing they still have endless time to change later. Later becomes next year. Next year becomes someday. Someday becomes never. One day you wake up and realize years disappeared. This is why Stoics practiced remembering death. Not in a depressing way. In a clarifying way. Because remembering death forces you to confront life honestly. Are you truly living? Or merely existing? Are you becoming stronger? Or simply staying distracted? Many people waste years seeking temporary pleasure while neglecting long-term fulfillment. They avoid discomfort today and create regret tomorrow. The Stoic mindset is different. Stoics understand that comfort often becomes a prison. Excessive entertainment weakens discipline. Constant distraction weakens focus. Endless pleasure weakens purpose. Meanwhile, disciplined action creates freedom. Every day matters. Every hour matters. And the painful truth is that many people only begin valuing time after wasting most of it. Do not wait for tragedy to awaken you. Do not wait for loss to teach gratitude. Do not wait until your body weakens before appreciating health. Life is happening now. The people you love will not be here forever. You will not remain young forever. Your opportunities will not remain available forever. This moment matters more than you think. One of the greatest tragedies in life is unrealized potential. People who could have become extraordinary, but stayed comfortable. People who had dreams, but stayed afraid. People who wanted peace, but stayed attached to chaos. The clock keeps moving regardless. And Stoicism asks one powerful question. If today were your final day, would you be proud of how you lived? Most people avoid that question because it exposes uncomfortable truths. But uncomfortable truths often create necessary change. You still have time to improve your life. But you must stop wasting the time you still have. Truth number 5, healing requires letting go. This is perhaps the hardest truth of all. You cannot heal while holding tightly to what continues hurting you. Many people claim they want peace, but secretly remain attached to pain. Attached to toxic relationships. Attached to old identities. Attached to resentment. Attached to past failures. Attached to memories that no longer serve them. And because they refuse to let go, they remain emotionally trapped. Stoicism teaches that attachment creates suffering. Not love itself. Attachment. The desperate need for things to remain exactly as they were. But life constantly changes. People change. Situations change. You change. Trying to force permanence onto temporary things creates emotional suffering. Sometimes healing requires grieving the version of yourself you can no longer be. Sometimes healing requires accepting that certain chapters are over. And that hurts. But holding on to dead situations hurts even more. Many people stay emotionally attached to old pain because pain becomes familiar. Even suffering can become comfortable when it's all you know. That's why some people repeatedly return to toxic relationships. Not because the relationship is healthy, but because familiarity feels safer than uncertainty. Stoicism teaches courage. And one form of courage is releasing what no longer aligns with your peace. You cannot begin a new chapter while emotionally living in the previous one. Letting go does not mean pretending nothing mattered. It means accepting reality without destroying yourself emotionally. You can appreciate memories while still moving forward. You can forgive without reconnecting. You can love someone and still recognize they are unhealthy for your life. Healing is not forgetting. Healing is no longer allowing the past to control your present. Many people think healing means never feeling pain again. That's unrealistic. Healing means the pain no longer controls your identity. The memory exists, but it no longer owns you. And this process takes time. Stoicism never teaches emotional suppression. It teaches emotional mastery. Feel the emotions. Observe them. Understand them. But do not become enslaved by them. The Stoic learns to sit with pain without collapsing under it. Because emotions are temporary. But the lessons can last forever. Sometimes the greatest act of self-respect is walking away from what repeatedly wounds your spirit. Not angrily. Not dramatically. Quietly. Peacefully. With wisdom. And once you release what drains you, space opens for growth. Space for clarity. Space for purpose. Space for peace. Many people remain emotionally exhausted because they keep carrying things life is asking them to release. Some relationships expire. Some dreams evolve. Some versions of you must die for stronger versions to emerge. That is life. And resisting that process only prolongs suffering. True healing begins when acceptance replaces resistance. These 5 truths hurt because they force honesty. Nobody is coming to save you. Most people primarily care about themselves. Life is unfair. You are running out of time. Healing requires letting go. Painful truths. But liberating truths. Because once you stop resisting reality, you stop living in illusion. And illusion is exhausting. Stoicism is not about becoming emotionless. It is about becoming unshakable. It teaches you how to remain calm during chaos. How to stay disciplined during difficulty. How to maintain dignity during pain. The Stoic understands that peace is not found by controlling the world. Peace is found by mastering yourself. And that journey begins with truth. Not comfortable truth. Real truth. The kind that hurts before it heals. If this message spoke to you, subscribe to the channel for more Stoic wisdom that strengthens your mind, sharpens your discipline, and helps you build inner peace in a chaotic world. And remember this. The moment you accept reality fully is the moment your freedom begins.